Hi guys, this is Michael. Today I bring to you a very special game for me. Today I bring to you Thorgal. Thorgal is a very popular character, it was and still is, of a comic series created by Rosiński and Warhammer. This character is very popular mainly in Europe. The, let's say, storyline is about the son of one of the Vikings who actually came from the stars. When I was young, I don't know, 7, 8 years, the series started, and I have many actual comics from those days, yeah, about Thorgal and fantastic stories of him. It's really when I was a kid, and but even now today, it's really interesting to read it. There's over 30 books already in the series. These are the first two. Really good one. If you have never tried, I really encourage you. The fact is that I have some weakness to Thorgal, of course, because of this kind of a melancholy or nostalgia from the early kid days. And when I heard that Portal Games will be doing a game about Thorgal, a cooperative game where you will be able to go through many adventures with many of the characters from the comics, I knew I want this game. Today we'll look at this game. Today we'll do kind of a first look at material. By first look at, we understand something which is deeper than pure unboxing, but not as detailed as a teach and play. So guys, without further ado, let's see what's inside and let's talk a bit about the game. First of all, we are getting a very heavy, sturdy box, as you can see, which nicely shows what's inside. I have a Polish version, of course. All my comics from the early days was in Polish, so I took the Polish version, but of course there are many more versions. It says like age 14 plus, and I believe the complexity of some puzzles really requires you to think and to combine a couple of things. Around 90, 120 minutes. It varies because you can do some side quests in this game and you can play from 1 to 4 players. If you play solo, you simply control 2 characters. It's similar like to the Gloomhaven or other games which are cooperative and allows you to play also solo. There will be a lot of cool stuff, and thanks to the successful campaign, this cool stuff was expanded. We shall see this in a moment. Okay, looking inside, let me put it here. So first thing which we are getting is a note after the successful campaign. So the game was printed, and thanks to this, huge interest of, I think, many people also like me who know this game from the early childhood days, it was a great success. So what this tells us? It tells us that thanks to this good campaign, we have new characters like Louvet, Tial, and I believe his father Argun. Yeah, so we have 3 new characters. We have some new special rules. We'll have 3 new adventures. There will be new item cards, some findings, new enemies, new terrain tiles, and also some additional icons. The first player marker will be wooden, and this is the one of the characters from the game actually. There will be also allies added and animals, so a lot of interesting stuff. Then we have the rulebook, which is not overly complex and long. First of all, we have all the components listed here, and we'll be using this when I will be showing you what's in the box. These are the general components, and there are also special components for the characters. Then we have a setup, and this is an example setup for the first scenario. Yeah, it shows you where to put the map, which will be in kind of a booklet, actions, players, the description of them, of this, the actions, also the items, the enemies. Then you have some key concepts. So it's important to note that this game is not kind of a role-play game. No, this is more like game like Gloomhaven, where you have a mission, you have a limited number of turns, rounds, you have some actions, you usually don't have enough actions to do everything, to fight the monsters, to search, to move on. So it's important to note this is that type of game. There's a cooperation in this game, a lot of cooperation, but still each and every player will in the end make their own decisions. You win together or you lose together. If at least one of the characters is exhausted, is defeated, you will lose. Yeah, so this is important to note. There are various, rules also for achieving victory, and also if you run out of time, you will lose. We will be reading a lot from a special book, again similar to Gloomhaven and other cooperative game, which will be bringing part of the story. And if you know a bit the comics, it will be a wonderful journey here through the world of Thorgal. Then in the rule book we have a description of Adventures Atlas, then the adventure special rules plaquette. We talk about the characters, what is there. Then we have a description about action phases, so how it's being done. And then we have a description of actions. We have movement, we have wandering, and there will be a lot of interesting puzzles within the game, like let's say Tetris-like putting of some small cardboard objects. You will see it in a moment, when I pull it out. So wandering, effects when you put actually those cardboard objects on the terrain or on the enemy. So what you're getting, pretty cool stuff. Then we have gathering, then we have putting of different various resources on the card. You have, of course, combat. This will be the enemies. There will be 5 types of enemies. There will be minor, there will be medium, major, and super large, also the mystic ones. So these are the typical ones, from the easiest to the most difficult, and here are the mystic ones. There will be also various die used, which you will be rolling, and then you will be able to put some of those polygon, I believe it's called, cards on the enemies mats. So this is the combat. You have even more about the combat. These are the examples of the enemies. You have also the action of sacrifice, which will help your team, of course. And after we have also the action of craftsmanship, and then after your actions there will be some event, which will drive this the situation forward. Some additional stuff in the rule book through which I will not be going through. This is one of the key antagonists of Thorgal, who was also his protagonist at some point in time, Chris de Valnor. And here you have a summary of all the rules. This is it. So the rule book not overly long, not overly complex, with all the important stuff. Now we have actual adventures here. You can see. So this is the first adventure. It says Torcan, not chapel, I would say. This is the chapel to the Torcan. You see the terrain is separated by these borders. It says with numbers 1, 2, which turn it has to be in order for you to be able to get there, also from the perspective of the movement. So you can get to the number 1s during the first turn, but in order to get to number 2 it has to be second turn, and in order to get to the 3 it has to be third turn. You would have locations in each terrain. For example, in this terrain you have 3 locations. Here you have another 2 locations. So you will be moving through this. To the particular map, we will have also plaquette with the adventure description, goals, and also the turn marker, how it moving forward. And there are a lot of various adventures. I believe there are 3 additional to what was initially planned. I will not be going through all of them. Yeah, so the balloons, it's called, it's called in Polish, it's podniebna żegluga. That means that you will be sailing in the clouds. Yeah, sailing in the clouds. Really nice. Okay, so this is the actual set of maps for the game. Then we will have some counters. Oh, it's nicely cut here, so it's easier to get it out of here. These are the counters for the enemies, for the hit. These are those polygon cardboard pieces which you will be putting on the terrain and also on enemies. And some other stuff which I need still to read about, because the game has tons of components, options, and also possibilities to win each and every scenario. It's not like you have one path or one ending, or let's say one positive, one negative. There are tons of possible endings. And these are the plaquettes for the particular adventures which I was mentioning. For example, this is Thorgan Chapel. So it says when you win, when you lose. Also some special rules to this, what kind of events we will have, because remember, after we do the action there will be event, how many turns we have, and so on and so forth. At the back we have another adventure, and so on and so forth. So you will always use the map from the atlas and then this plaquette. Now, this is something I would like to draw your attention to. This is a book of adventures. So you have all those sections here which you read when you start the adventure or you achieve some part of adventure, some development in the adventure. So really cool to read, even for the sake of understanding the situation and being part of it. While it's not a full role-play game, it's still a game with a story, and the story is really fun in it. Now we are getting to the meat of the game, so the adventurers. Let me see, where is Mr. Thorgal? Mr. Thorgal is here, and you see these are 2 pieces, the generic back and the front, which shows you all the special abilities of a particular person. This is the wandering pieces. This will be connected to the fight. Yeah, you can move it nicely, gently. Yeah, and you can keep here various polygon pieces. Yeah, there are many adventurers. I believe 7, 1, 2. There were 4 basic ones. Yeah, Chris de Valnor, son Jolan of Thorgal, and wife Arika. But we have those 3 additional, Luve, Tial, and Argon. So instead of having the choice from 4, we have choice from 7. Really cool, really nice. Then we will have tons of cards. Let me get this deck first. Yeah, what first do we have here? These are special abilities of all the adventurers, and once they are used, here is the passive side, where you have spent some resource to be able to flip it and use it once again. Then you have a huge deck or pile of enemies. Easy ones, medium, dangerous ones, super dangerous ones. And how does it look like? This is the example of the enemy. You can see 2 hearts in order to kill him, and some additional stuff you can gather, and the obligatory colors or other stuff which you need to use to get to them. when you compare it to the super difficult one, like this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hearts, yeah, and completely different setup. So we will be using those pieces from this, yeah, let me show you, and we will be placing them here, for example, that way, in order, yeah, to kill the enemy, the monster. Pretty innovative approach, yeah, I like it, and should be fun, depending how good your adventure is and how difficult the opponent enemy. It will be completely different set here, yeah, and much more difficult to do. Okay, let me see what else do we have here. It's very important to go through this. I believe these are the terrain tiles. Yeah, this would be the terrain. There are various types of terrain you will be exploring, and again you will be able to gather some of the stuff. Again, you will be using those pieces which I was showing to you here in order to explore it. I like this mechanic. I would like to see this in work, yeah, in action. Then we have plenty of the events, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 types of events. They are nicely described here in the rule book, and only 2 types are used per adventure. If we look at the adventure maps, you will see that the events are put here, and the color shows you which events are used for a particular adventure. So these are the mountain events. It looks like that. Immediate, and this is for the next phase of the event. Here will be the survival. Interestingly, all those pictures are from the actual comics. Immediate, next adventure phase, and then we have the sailing, yeah, ones. Here we have the village ones, something happening in the village. Then we have a combat ones. During the action something happens, next phase something happens. Okay, and last but not least, the magic ones, something which happens during the action, loss of faith, and something which happens during the next event phase. So it will really spice up the game with all those events, yeah, which we have here. What else do we have? That's not everything. The last card was left here. We have some, as I told you, dice. Depending on your skills, you will be rolling various types of die, and this is of course showing you which polygon, tokens you will be taking. Wow, nice. Looks cool. Then we have some action cards. Yeah, these are all action cards. These are the symbols of action. This is a movement action, for example. And it also shows you what and how to do. I will not be going to the details. There's like 43 action cards, I believe. Yeah, something like that. Then we have items. These are items. Okay, like this is helmet with the binoculars. Wow, interesting. And these are the things you can find in the terrain during the search. Like apple, which gives heart. There are some additional cards. I'm not sure what they are for yet, but we'll double check it. There is one misprint, so we have card which changes this from the village event deck. And we have also some special cards like capture and other stuff like this. I will need to double check. These are definitely the enemies which are pretty potent from what I remember. Yeah, these are pretty potent enemies. On top of this, we would have markers For the first player, the Guardian of the Keys. One of the very important persons in the game, in the comics actually. This shows you the action tokens, which actions are still available, which were taken. Oh, heavy, nice one, I like it. And then we'll have resources. Maybe I will not be opening everything. Wood, iron ore, some food, some gossip. So there's like 6 types of resources. Yeah, we will sort them properly. And here we have another thing. We'll need to double check what is it. Last but not least, we have the miniatures. So let me start with the Thorgal. Yeah, this will be the miniature of Thorgal. You can see, maybe, okay, let me try to catch the proper sharpness. So this is Thorgal miniature. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can see it properly. Let me pull it back. It will be easier. Like this. So this is Thorgal. Beautifully looking. Oh, Chris the Valnor. I like that there is not overly too many miniatures. The adventurers is fine for me. Don't need more, to be quite honest. This is completely okay. So I will need to probably properly store it and sort it. And I think we went through all the combos. We have still some of the animals. It was saying that we will be having animals. So here it is. Okay, guys, I think that's all for today. This unboxing was a bit longer than I expected, not only because of the size of the game, amount of the components, the depth of what we are having here, but also because of my sentiment for this. I wanted to show you everything, to discuss everything. I'm very curious about this game. I really would like to test the battle mechanic and the discovering of things which you can find there. Probably I will play with my kids. They might not comprehend yet everything in the game. They are 9 and 11, but they are always very good bots, so they will help me. And it will be also a trouble for me in time. Probably I will read my comics again for the 5th or 6th time already. I should say not a comics, but series of comics. And I hope to spend really great time with Thorgal, like more than 30 years ago, when I was first, getting in touch, getting to know this wonderful character and the world he is within. That's all, guys, for today. Thank you so much for being with me. If you like this video, do not hesitate to give thumbs up. If you'd like to see more content like this, kindly please subscribe. Every subscription is really important for such a small content creator like the Board Games Chronicle. Thank you for being with me, and thanks for watching.